Hi, I'm Miss Kim. I'm the Art Link instructor at the Music Connection Conservatory of Music and Art. And today I'm really excited to teach you about a patriotic styled, designed acrylic painting. We're doing the American flag, and you see there's stars, and there is the countryside in a silhouette black format. So let's begin. Hi, this is Miss Kim. So here we are with the materials to do our painted sky of the American flag in a design format, with the land being like a mountain, a slight slope for a mountain, and the trees, as you can see, big to small. The bigger are in the foreground, the pine trees, and they're different sizes and shapes, and they go down to a smaller tree. You have a little bump in here to suggest some kind of light bump or trees in the distance. So don't worry about those little bumps, because that suggests some land or trees in the distance, or rocks, formations, whatever. Okay? So that is the project. This is the image we're going for. As you can see, I painted it on a canvas board. Okay? That's wrapped. I did paint on the canvas on the sides, as you can see, like this. So if you're painting on canvas, make sure to paint and line up your stripes to match, and your land to wrap and match. Okay? The bottom is black. You're really not going to see it. I have a little blue showing. It doesn't matter because it's the bottom. Okay? So that, I want to make that point with painting on canvas. If you don't have canvas, there's such a thing as called a canvas board. This is this. It's thinner. You don't need to do the sides. It's pretty thin. If you really want to, you can, but you don't have to. On a canvas board, it's a little more inexpensive. I've seen them at the dollar store. This is an 8x10 canvas panel. You could put the title, your artist, your name. Medium is acrylic paint, the date you made this, and your signature, to keep this as a nice little memory. So that all those parts are on the back usually of a canvas board. Then, if you don't have that, you can also do work on a mixed media pad. This one has a spiral, like a spiral notebook, and it is perforated, like you're going to pull it out of here and you want to frame it, you can do that. This paper is thicker and can handle acrylic paint, hence mixed media. It's paper that's thicker and it's capable of dealing with different mediums and water and such. So you can take it out or keep it in your sketchbook and have as another example of your artwork, and you can paint or draw on other pages, but you would let this dry completely before closing it at all. Okay? So those are some things you could paint on. You certainly could buy a wood like panel at Michael's and paint this also on that. So you're not limited to just what I'm showing you, but I'm giving you some ideas. Okay? So then I want to also state, I have red, white, blue, and black paints, acrylic. These are Artist Loft. They're little tubes. You can get them at Michael's. You can use a coupon. You can have them shipped by Amazon. Ask your parents to help you with that, or go to the store. They do curbside pickup these days. You could order it. Parents would help you with that, and then they can go pick up the materials. The dollar store also has colors like this, basic black and white and red and blue usually. Okay, and then I have a foam plate. This is used as your palette. Here's what I did when I painted this one. Here's a clear one, clean one. Some water. This is an old relish jar. I cleaned it out and I put fresh water to clean my brushes and paper towel. Here is an old toothbrush I used, my old toothbrush. It's clean. I no longer am going to use it, so you can use one of yours. Ask your parents, but you will not reuse it at all because it is not safe. So it's only for painting. Once you use it for painting, that goes with your painting supplies only. Then you have a larger, wide, flat brush like I'm showing here. As you can see, it's flat. That's good for when we paint the background. Then we have a little bit of a not as wide paintbrush that's also more flat. It has a little angle, but that's okay. Then you have even a smaller flat, and then a detail for more of the trees. It has a little point to it. So whatever brushes you can get that go along this width. If they're slightly bigger or smaller, that's fine, okay? Here is my example. I have the American flag example here. 50 stars to represent the 50 states of the United States that we currently have. And we have the 13 stripes, red and white, to represent the first original 13 states. In history, you will learn all about this, but today, with a short tutorial, I'm going to go right into the project, but this is my reference piece, okay? I am going to flip this over so we can see the flag. It'll be there for a reference point. All right, I am not going to do the entire painting as I have here because within the time span, you need time for dry time, and the steps are pretty simple, so I will not complete it, but you will see some steps here and you'll understand what I mean as we go along, okay? So let's begin. What I'm gonna do is paint on the canvas board. I am taking my blue paint, unscrewing it, and I'm literally going to just put drops of paint right on my canvas board, like so, like three generous ones, maybe 2 more here. And then the point is, because I'm going to be dragging this paint across, then I'm going to work my way down into the white paint, and it's going to make it a light blue and down into like, it really doesn't matter because this bottom part is going to be our black after it's dry, so we don't have to worry about that. What I want to do is take my big flat brush right now, dampen it in my water, and take the excess water off, and even like maybe even kind of loosen the brush up a little bit like that, and put the excess water in my paper towel. Now I'm going to come over here, and I'm simply going to move my paint back and forth like so across, and you have a table cover for your table. I use a plastic one from the dollar store. Usually is the best way to go, but if you have some other kind of table covering that is preferably plastic, not paper, because paint and water will get through, I would suggest going this route. So I'm going down and I'm going back and forth with my big brush, simply trying to blend and gradate the color down to like a white at the end if you can, but if it doesn't matter, because you know why? The bottom is going to be black anyway with the black paint when we get down to that point. You want to make sure you go all the way across your canvas where your picture, all the way across, and you want to make sure you blend these colors well. If you have to flip your brush a little bit, you're trying to go from dark blue, gradating down to a light blue to almost a white if you can. But if you don't get to a white, it's okay, because there's going to be black right at the bottom anyway. So you just want it blended nice. See how nice that looks? And you want to make sure you go all the way across as I'm doing here. Okay? I don't want to mess with this too much. I think I'll just do a little bit more here. Then I'm going to put my brush in the water and clean it. And if the water changes color, it's still clean water. It's going to change color, but it is clean. And you can just leave that brush kind of sit in the water. It's fine, okay? Next step, I'm taking my old toothbrush I'm no longer going to use anymore, but it's clean. Dip it in the water to weten it. I'm going to put a little bit of white paint on my palette, my foam palette. I like the foam because the paint doesn't kind of gets absorbed into the paper plate, but you can use a paper plate. You just lose a little bit of the paint, where the foam, it has the, what do you call it? That coating, so it keeps it from absorbing in. So I wet my toothbrush, I cleaned it up because I have a little bit of the blue came from that brush, but you can see it's kind of gone away. Now I'm putting the white paint on this brush, like this, and I'm just going to dunk it in the water real quick, okay, and I'm just going to get it wet. And then what you do, you just simply, make sure it's a little bit wet, you're going to take your finger and you're going to just go tap a couple times to get those stars on there. You're going to maybe get some, oop, I got some up here, I just wiped that with my finger real quick, it's okay. and I'll get a little more maybe paint on my brush, and I just tap. Just like that, that's it. You don't have to have it perfect. There's no wrong to it really. I'm just gonna wipe this, get that white off there, sorry. And wipe it down real quick. Okay, that can be repaired later, I'm not worried about that. I'm letting that white spatter paint dry, okay? So you leave it alone, don't touch it, it doesn't have to be a perfect star. Say you really, really want that perfect star, what you can do is put some white paint on your palette and use the back of your brush, the tip, dip it in there, and you can push down, and you can make 50 stars if you want, like this. But this is more of a design idea, and that looks more like stars in the sky the way I did that. A famous artist, Pollock, does spatter painting like that. So you're also getting a little bit of Pollock style in there, which is kind of cool. All right, so this is all wet and drying. So with that said, I'm not going to rush in yet to paint. I am going to just explain the next brush you want to work with is the one that is the width of this paint, this with the stripes. So here's my next leveled width brush that's flat. And as you can see on my dry painting, see it fits within these stripes, the width of it, okay? That's about the width you want. You don't have to worry about having 13 stripes. I only have 10 here. There's 5 red stripes. There's 5 white stripes. I know 13 stripes are on the flag. This is just a kind of like a impressionistic style designed painting of an American flag in the sky. It's understood, so you do not have to have it exact, okay? Don't worry about that. All right, so now what I'm going to do with this brush, I'm going to dunk it in the water to wet it and onto my paper towel. And I'm going to put some white on my foam palette. Good, give yourself a good amount like that. Your brush is slightly wet, and you're going to take your paint and get it onto the brush. Both sides, coat it good. See how I have that? And I'm going to skip a width. I'm measuring it just above, like you can see here from the top of the canvas. So I'll flip it like that to give you an idea of the distance, and then you just go straight across. On the side I'm going to go to match it and just go over. Don't worry about it blending into the stars. It's okay, it's a design. We can add some more white. You want some blue in there. I know the stripes are white, but a little blue behind it is okay. It's just a design. It doesn't have to be exact, or the realistic image of an exact flag is like I have here. Okay? So then I go on and get some more white paint. I move down another width. So I'll flip it maybe like that, and then I come like this and just go ahead and make your line again. Now this board is smaller than that one, so there'll be even less lines on this one, which is okay. If you had a thinner brush, you can go ahead and do that approach too on a smaller canvas. This is an 8 by 10. Then we go down one more. We're measuring, and we make another stripe, but you want the stripes to kind of be equal distance to suggest the stripes on the flag, how they're equal in width and distance. Okay, and you're just going to load that white on and go back and forth, and make sure you make a nice straight line, no interruptions. Again, I'm going to go back and do these as well and just blend it across. You do not have to, paint it really 100% white. If some light blue comes through, that's okay. But you want more white, add more white to your brush and just brush it in there. And it looks really nice just like this, okay? That's the look you want to go with. And one more stripe we can try, the width. Okay, let's get down here. This is kind of going more into the land, but it will peek through, so just go ahead and do that. If you need a little more water to wet your brush, go ahead and do so. And go across, like so. And it's okay if you have, like, if you need to blend it like that, go for it. I'm gonna try to scoop some more of that white off mine and get right into that next stripe. And I'm happy with it just like that. And I'm gonna move my piece a little because the paint will dry onto the table, as you can see, like that. So I pulled it away so it's like, doesn't stick, okay? Kind of glad that happened so you could see why I'm doing that. All right, now I'm gonna cap my white and I'm gonna go ahead and grab the red. You're gonna do the same striping but alternating in between the white now. Except for at the bottom, you won't need to because you have the black silhouette of the land and the trees to be the bottom. So that's about the red you'll need. Same brush, clean it good in your water on the paper towel, but it's still damp. Add your red like so, both sides, as you can see, and I'm going to go ahead and sweep across the side and across. And if it goes on the top, that's fine too, okay? Then I'm going to add some more red and come right here and go right across again. And you're going to just go across again here. Make sure you go on the side if you have your canvas so it matches even on this side for the longest ones, the longest stripes. You want them to match on the sides, and you might move your canvas occasionally so it doesn't stick to your table cover. Okay, isn't that coming along kind of nice? And the next one, go across, load that paint on there and go across to get that other red stripe in there, all the way across. There might be little blobs, so you can pull them in and then just go across. And if there's little blobs left, it's okay, a little one ain't gonna hurt. It's fine. All right. I'm feeling very excited about Independence Day, 4th of July. Hope you are. Hope you're gonna have a nice holiday and enjoy some fireworks if you can happen to see some. A lot of park districts are actually going higher up in the air so families can see them from their own backyards, is what I'm hearing. So how exciting is that? All right, so keep filling in your reds to get at the level you want. These might be darker up here because your blue is darker, and these might be lighter, and that's okay. All right, then we'll rinse that brush out, throw it in your water. Last but not least, this will have to be dry. I'm not going to do it here because this is wet and it needs time to dry, and in the time frame of our project here, we can't wait. So I'm going to go right into, you would put some black on your plate, more than that, but I'm just taking a little because I'm not going to do a lot. I would take more than that on my plate. I would take my smallest brush that I have here with the tip. I'm going to wet it, put it on my paper towel, get my black, and then I would, like I did here, kind of create my land. Or actually, I'm sorry, I could take a whiter brush like this, sorry. Wet it, paper towel, black, and then I would create my land like this, the shape of it, with this brush to make like just a slope and go up here and on the sides and down below. So all that would be black and it would just be a slope to start. The trees will come last because we're waiting for the stripes to be totally dry up this high. So we're just doing the land across with a wide brush. Okay, once that's dry, then you would take this smaller brush that has a tip. You would put black paint on it because we're doing the silhouette of the trees, pine trees in the distance. So it's the small trees in the far background, and as we get bigger, we're coming closer to the foreground. So your biggest pine tree is the closest, is going to be the biggest. you'll just make like lines to start. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to do odd numbers, look better in art. And then from there you can paint your tree brushes, the shrubbery on the trees out like this with your tip brush in black going out to create the shape of pine trees, which are kind of triangular in shape. And you know, like a Christmas tree is what a pine tree is like. Okay, there's different kinds, but you get the idea. And if it's not exactly perfect, you want it to look realistic, not like a perfect triangle. So that is what you'll do, and you'll pull out your branches on either side till you create that effect. You look and go, does that look like a pine tree to me in my mind, a silhouette of it? Meaning it's just the shadow of it, the black of it, against the American flag sky. So you will make your trees, you will let them dry, you'll take this brush, put it in your water, and all your brushes should be in your water, your caps are back on your paint, and you are finished your picture. You'll let it dry, and you can display it for Independence Day. So once you're done with your project, you could simply take your water with your brushes and take it to the sink, wash it out, and wash out your brushes with soap and water. Wash your hands because they're water soluble acrylic paints, and you can toss out your paper towel. You can let your table cover dry and put that away for future use, and you can toss your paper palette, your not paper plate, your paper plate or your foam plate palette. You can throw it away or you can keep it and reuse it. So that concludes my tutorial. I hope everyone has a happy Independence 4th of July day this Saturday. And remember, we're doing a social distancing artwork contest. Please get your entries in, and I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July. This is Miss Kim signing off. Bye for now. And remember, be happy and keep creating. Happy 4th of July. Bye, everyone.